Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Jacob Young on the official Jacob Young Show. Sorry for the delay. These things happen on a special Thanksgiving holiday. I hope everybody's having a great time. I hope you're all meeting up with the people that you love. You're in the places that you want to be. And I hope that you're tuning in right here on the Jacob Young Show. We got a little magic carpet happening right now. All right, so I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I hope everybody's having a long, extended weekend, and I hope everything is bueno with everybody. So I have a lot of things to talk about tonight. So one of the first things is, why is it the Jacob Young Show? That is the biggest question of the hour. Well, the most exciting news, and I mentioned it briefly, is that my show is going to be moving on to Roku. So if you're on the Roku channel or Roku setup, and you can access Roku, now you're going to be able to access the show from your TV. And also, along with that, you're going to be able to not only access that from there, but you can do it from Apple TV, all the other mediums, platforms that are available that you can do that. Sorry for the delay again. We have a really special guest this week. It's a good friend of mine, Angie Schworer. She's a Broadway star. I wanted to throw a special shout out to my son because it is his birthday weekend. And if everybody can say hello to Luke Wayne Young.
Hi.
Give me some love. He's going to be 10 years old. He made it out of the single digits. Can you believe it? Single digits. Now he's 10 years old. I can't even believe it. I feel so old. What do you think about that? You feel okay about it? Because you're just becoming so big and big and big all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday. And I know everybody else is going to be wishing you a happy birthday. I want to make sure that everybody's up here live right now with me. Let me go ahead and make sure that I'm logged on to the channel so I can see everybody's comments, everybody's questions. Well, that's coming up. So my special guest this week is a favorite. Now, Angie has a resume. I mean, it is a resume that includes starring in The Producers with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane. And recently in the Tony-winning Best Musical, Something Rotten. Angie will be talking about her new Broadway show, The Prom, which is directed by the same person who directed Mean Girls. And if you can recall from my earlier interview with Jonathan Bennett from my Hallmark movie that is coming out December 23rd, which is only a month away from this movie that's coming out November 23rd, the one that's coming up with Alexa Havens. This is up for grabs right now. It's a signed autograph. This is a signed autographed book from Jonathan Bennett. It's signed to me, but I'm willing to let this go. And it's got all the Mean Girl recipes from all your favorite Mean Girl movie quotes. And I have not made any of them yet. I just think it would make me a mean girl. So, so I think everybody should. We're going to talk about the competition on this. This is going to be part of the Thanksgiving recipe competition that's coming at you. But so yeah, Mean Girls. And Angie will be performing outside, which is really cool, on the Thanksgiving Day parade tomorrow in 20-degree weather. And last night we caught up with her outside of her theater before the evening performance. That interview will be coming up later in the show. Now, you know, people always ask me, what is my favorite holiday? What is my favorite time of the year? I don't know why any of your questions aren't coming up right now, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring you guys back up here on my screen. But my favorite time of the year is Thanksgiving because I don't know what it is about it, but it always makes me feel like I'm close to my family. I'm close to my friends. I'm close to my friends who helped bring me up in times of need. And I have so many people to be thankful for. Not only my family, but extended family. And I'm sure you feel the same way. And I wanted to talk about somebody who oh, there I am. There we go. Jacob Young is live now. And now I'm going to be able to see your comments. Is anybody, oh, here we go. Here we go. We have finally everybody's, okay. YNR B&B after show debates. Happy 10th birthday, Luke. I will definitely tell him he just walked out of the room. OMG, 10. Wait, hold up. 10. Time flew by. Yes, Candace, it sure has. Makes me feel very Jacob Young. John Murray, happy birthday, Luke. You hit the double digits. He sure did. And he's super excited about it. I told him to stop. Slow down. Slow down, buddy. But now he's really big into Fortnite. Is there kids, or are you playing Fortnite? Because Fortnite seems to be the video game of this era right now. I have no idea why. I have not tried it myself, and I was a video gamer. But I understand the passion behind it, and he is so into it right now. Cindy says, I am buying that in a week on Amazon. What's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? And that's what I was about to talk about, actually. Okay, so we all know the green bean casserole, right? I mean, it's a staple. It's something that we've all had at our Thanksgiving Day table. How many times? Well, I'm going to tell you how many times. It's been since the 1950s. And it was done by Dorcas Riley, and she invented the green bean casserole. And she recently passed away. So, but that wasn't all of her legacy. Her legacy goes on much, much further than that because she also invented the tuna casserole. Tuna casserole. Apparently casseroles were her thing. And casseroles were the thing in my household. So I'm wondering if the casseroles were the thing in your household as well. So, I hope everybody tomorrow would please take a moment and think about Dorcas Riley. And I think I'm saying that right. I mean, it is spelled that way. I haven't gone that. And if you send me some hate mail because I said it wrong, you sure can do that. But I don't think there's any other way to pronounce it. But, it had the mushroom soup. It had the crunchy toppings on it. And last month, at the age of 92, she passed away. So happy Thanksgiving, and thank you so much, Mrs. Riley, for giving us the green bean casserole that we all have come to enjoy right here. I mean, at least here in the United States. I don't know how far it's stretched. I'm sure it's in Canada as well. I'm not sure about Mexico. Maybe they were eating green bean casserole down there too. Probably a little more caliente. But she was in the Campbell Soup Kitchen for 30 years. 30 years in the Campbell Soup's Kitchen, which is really amazing. Now, speaking of side dishes, before we move on to side dishes, let me see who else is saying something. Candace Mack, I love sweet potato pie. So that's got to go to the other honey glazed ham and stovetop stuffing. Yes, Candace. I'm actually just participating in the eating, and normally I am heavily involved because I'm a perfectionist. And if anybody knows anything about Virgos, which you're probably going to hate me because I just said that. If anybody knows about anything about Virgos, we are very dominant, to be dominant the kitchen or anything like that in our lives. It doesn't make us a bad person, it just makes us a caring person. And I care a lot about what is the quality of food. And, you know, one of my favorite human beings of all time was Anthony Bourdain. And I can go on and on and on about hours and hours about him because he was my absolute favorite. And I cannot believe that we lost him this last year. But moving on to a brighter subject, I will not be cooking, which is not so bright, in the kitchen this year. I will only be enjoying it, but I'll be enjoying it with my wife's family. And I'm going to go ahead and give a nice salute to everybody this Thanksgiving. I have a proper Rogue Honey Kolsch beer. And here's to everybody this Thanksgiving. And I hope you have a safe, happy, blessed Thanksgiving with your family. And I'm going to have a little sip to that. Now, with that said, I also want to give a good shout out to what I'm wearing tonight, which is the second rodeo. My mates from Australia, second rodeo, because Lord knows this ain't my first. This has definitely been more probably than my second, but I like their brand. And if you want to check out their brand, you can go to my Instagram site, or you can go to secondrodeoclothing.com. I'm going to throw this up right here so everybody can read that real nice and clear. And I love this slogan, this other slogan that says, living life like a country song. Living life like a country song. I'm going to go some more questions here. Julie Namar played Dorcas in MGM's 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. That's a really interesting fact that I did not know. Thank you for sharing that with us. Oh, my wife says, because she's logged on right now, she says pineapple surprise pie. What's the surprise? Never tried it. Oh, hi, Debbie. Oh, I think she's responding to somebody else. She's having a conversation with Debbie. Sorry, it's rolling pretty fast with everybody. But again, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I know we're just a day out, and I hope you're all hustling and bustling around the grocery stores, because I went to the grocery store today, and it was absolute chaos. People were fighting over every vegetable, every turkey, every potato, every carrot. It's this time of year is exciting, and it's also it's frustrating, but you got to love it, because everybody wants to make their particular holiday for their particular traditions just as special as it was the last year or the year before. So family is one of the things I'm always most thankful for, obviously. And let me know some of the special things that you're thankful for, so I can read it right here live with everybody, so everybody else can hear what you're thankful for. It's such a wonderful holiday, and I think a lot of people like to. Well, I saw a joke today, and I don't want to say who was saying it, but they kind of took a piss out of Thanksgiving, and I didn't much care for that, because Thanksgiving is my personal holiday that I love the most. I love Christmas too, but that's my second closest. But Thanksgiving, I don't know why, it just always rings so true to me. And I also wanted to say hello to Tavia and her son Zach. And Tavia, who did the haiku, which was several episodes back, and I missed a few weeks, and I apologize, but I got to hang out with her son Zach, who's also an aspiring actor, who you're gonna see on the main screen, and you're gonna see in TV very, very soon. And Tavia, your hat is on the way, and I can promise that, because that was part of the competition. Was whoever was able to write the best haiku won an autographed hat. And so she's got that one. And I want to move on. Well, before I move on, I want to check a couple questions. I'm going to go back here. Oh, yeah. YNRBB after show debates. Yummy, yummy. Yes, I love green bean casserole. I mean, I feel like it has to be on my plate, whether I wanted it or not. Vintage AMC. I always like to put the Thanksgiving turkey on my head. Oh, wait. What was Mr. Oh, that was Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean's Thanksgiving. Let's see. Candace Mack says, I'm thankful for my family we lost. My grandfather this year, which hurt, but my family is strong, so she's thankful for them. And we are blessed to know you, Candace, and we are wishing your family, condolences and love this Thanksgiving, this holiday season. They need to bring Rick back from international. Cindy's saying that. Well, I don't disagree with that, Cindy. Rick has been missed, and I know that, Hope, his sister, misses him. I'm sure his parents miss him, and we will soon see. Maybe there's something that is bound to happen. So anyway, I'm going to move on here. So family is one of the things that I'm always most thankful for. Let me know some of the special things that you're thankful for. Also, I want to say hello. I want to move on to the Killer Vacation. So Killer Vacation, I'm obviously starting with Alexa Havens, who played Babe on All My Children, to my JR. And we'll be starring together again for the very first time since All My Children on the Lifetime movie Killer Vacation, which premieres on Lifetime Movies this Friday night at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. No, that's wrong. I think it is 8 Eastern, 7 Central. You can check your local listings. It is, I'm sure it airs in different times, at different time zones. I'm on Mountain Time because I'm here in Utah speaking with everybody. So it airs at different time, and it's very hard to keep all 4 of these time zones very straight. So I wanted to tell you about a few behind-the-scenes moments that actually have happened making this particular movie. Like the food poisoning on the last shooting day that almost made the time filming in Albuquerque, New Mexico, a killer vacation for me. No, I'm not joking about this. I actually got food poisoning on the very last day. I mean, talk about it. We've been working so hard right up until the very end of this film. And I come down with food poisoning. And it's the last major scene. And they're setting up cameras. We're up against the clock. We're literally at midnight. And I'm throwing up in the bathroom. I hope that doesn't make anybody feel upset about saying throw up. But I was throwing up in the bathroom. And I come out to the producer and said, I think whatever I ate at lunchtime is not agreeing with me. And then I had to run off the bathroom a second time. Well, ultimately, my character has to be very distraught in this last scene, and as well as Alexa's has to be too. So I was doing ADR, and ADR, for anybody who doesn't know what that is, actually is where you're basically covering any audio that got dropped, or making sure that sounds the same way that your lips are moving. And so I had to go back in, and I saw that scene, and I was like, oh. My eyes were covered the whole time, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But I was actually slightly, and more than slightly, pleasantly surprised how great it actually looked. And maybe I was more of a critic because I felt so horrible. But somehow feeling horrible made that scene. So I can't wait for y'all to see it. That's Killer Vacation. It comes out this Friday, November 23rd. I'm going to go ahead and see what questions we have going right now. JR and Babe the Baby Snatcher. Wait. I gotta back up here a little bit. See what's happening. Oh yeah, Garen says B&B finally removed your picture from the opening credits. Yeah, I had heard that, and that's a sad thing. But you know, I've got so many great projects that are coming up, and I think they understand that we still want to be working together. I'll be working with them, and we're working together. But if I'm not under contract, that's just how it works. But I've got 5 feature films that are coming out this year. Well, it's already starting this end of the year into next year, and more to come. So please don't despair. Just because they're taking my credits off of there, there's going to be so many more credits for Jacob Young, and I appreciate that comment. Oh, yes, and so we were talking earlier, I think the earlier episodes about interesting ideas about Thanksgiving ideas, and some ideas about some interesting side dishes. So there's a tater tot stuffing idea, and and this is interesting. So check this out. So check this one out. To combine 2 sides to cut down to the last minute crunch, just in case you're in that crunch, when all the side dishes have to come out at one time, there's actually a tater tot cookbook with a recipe for turkey stuffing using tater tots instead of breadcrumbs. So you can get your stuffing and potatoes all in one dish. And if you have any interesting side dish ideas, please share them with me tonight. I think we've discussed that a little bit. But how can you combine different side dishes to make an interesting side dish? Lifetime is awesome, Cindy Welch. Oh, Cindy says I'll be back soon. Yeah, don't worry about that. Oh, cinnamon honey glazed carrots. We love that. It tastes like I always say, when you ever add cinnamon and nutmeg or any of that to that, it almost tastes like it's its own pumpkin pie when you put carrots in it, and add those. Okay, so here we are. So we're on my guest this week. This is who I wanted to talk about because she's such a dear friend of mine, such an amazing performer, and her credits are a mile long. Her name's Angie Schworer, as I mentioned, and we spoke last night in front of her Broadway theater to talk about her new show, The Prom. And she was literally across the street, which you're going to see in the video, from the Broadway musical starring Bruce Springsteen, of course. And at the beginning of the interview, security guards are dragging metal barricades down the streets back and forth. And so it was a little bit loud, but it was also a little bit funny. And I want to bring this on right now for everybody to see. And she's such an amazing entertainer. And you're going to understand this once I bring this on. So everybody, without further ado, here is Angie Schworer, my love, and I love this woman. She's wonderful. She's from the producers, Rotten Tomatoes, and now currently The Prom. Here it is. Well, give me a second here. I will get this up. I'm going to have to do a little finesse. Just bear with me. This is not a perfect science going live. To bring my OBS back up. Here we go. And we are going to go right into the interview here in 1 second. I apologize for any delay, but it is worth the wait. Trust me. And wait till you see the show. I heard it's better than Hairspray. And that's saying a lot.
Tree lighting or something.
Hello, everybody. Now, before I bring out or introduce completely my first guest, I want to talk about a little bit of backstory because we have some backstory. We first met when she was doing the producers and I was in Beauty and the Beast, and I was lucky enough to actually work with you on a reading that we did with Ben Elton for Ben Elton's Popcorn at the Friars Club, that is.
Oh yeah, popcorn.
Yeah, and you played Stacy Keach's young wife. Sharon Stone also did that, and I remember how much she took to you immediately. And the only reason I say that is because you have to be probably the most fun person to work with on Broadway. Ladies and gentlemen, Broadway star Angie Schworer.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Woo! How you doing? You look fantastic.
Angie, baby.
Woo! They're putting out the railings.
Angie happens to be standing on the sidewalk under the show that you're currently doing in New York City, across from Springsteen, right? Springsteen's right behind you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right behind me.
That's awesome.
Here comes some more railings.
Well, yeah.
We're putting up the railings.
Well, you look fantastic.
Thank you. So do you.
So excited for you.
Thank you.
Well, so you just opened your new Broadway musical called The Prom, and it's getting reviews, and audiences are loving it. The great reviews. What's so special is that it's an original Broadway musical, not based on an established movie title.
Exactly.
Tell us what The Prom is all about.
Well, it started with the concept about having celebrities down and out in their career, and they want to find a cause celeb to sort of reignite their careers and get some, notoriety back to boost up their. It's one of the things says they used to be the toast of the town, and now their careers are toast. So that's kind of the premise. And so they come up with they Google a few causes, and they come up with the one. If they find a young girl who's a lesbian who asked her high school girlfriend to the prom. She lives in Edgewater, Indiana, and they canceled the prom. So we head to Edgewater, and mayhem ensues.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
But everyone ends up getting something out of it.
I would imagine so.
It just takes a little while.
Well, how much is the real Angie injected into your character?
Well, I would say about 99.35%. Starting with the name of the character. But also, the things that I say are different. Prom Angie is a lot more confident than real Angie, because I would never quit a show, because I would never work. I'd always be like, I'm never going to get another show. But Prom Angie quits Chicago because in 20 years, they've never let her go on for Roxy Hart. So she's taken a stand and she quits.
She quits.
But real Angie wouldn't do that. She'd just suck it up.
Suck it up and work.
Yeah. Pension weeks.
Well, speaking of proms, did you go to your high school proms?
I went to so many, but it was so long ago, Jacob, I can't remember.
Oh, I don't
No, I
believe
did. I went
that.
to a lot of them. The one, I think back in my day, it was always the before the prom was actually the fun thing. I don't remember at the prom. I just don't remember it being so fun. But the before events, and it was my birthday. I don't remember which birthday, but whatever. How old were you when you're a junior in college? I'm sorry,
16?
Junior in
16,
high school?
17?
Sorry. Yeah, it was that birthday, and my mother had a birthday dinner before prom for my friends, and my boyfriend at the time had his collar all hiked up, and he comes in with a cooler full of beer, and my mom goes, "Get that out of here! Get that out of here!" And I was so embarrassed, and I felt so embarrassed. But then she served red wine at the dinner,
because
which is hilarious, because I hate wine and I don't drink it to this day, and we all know I like my booze.
Well, we do know that.
And I don't drink red wine. Maybe that's why, because I was so embarrassed. But anyway, that's just a little story I remember from my prom.
I love that story. Now, your opening night was last week during this huge surprise snowstorm that nobody was really expecting to be so crazy. How did that affect the opening night?
Well, it got the theater a buzz, I'll tell you that, because we were about a half hour late. So everyone was drinking and socializing and having a blast out here. Meanwhile, Beth Level and I are like pacing in our dressing room, like, when are we going to get this started? So for myself, I felt like my energy went like down a little bit. You kind of had to reignite it because you're all ready, and then you just sat. But the audience was electric, and I think that's the most important thing. That's what made the opening night the opening night, right? So I think it made it. Everyone was happy to be dry and happy to be there having some booze and some laughs.
Yeah, and a night to remember nonetheless.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I had to, you had to carry my heels just to go across the street, and made it just for a cold, chilly, rainy night. But inside was fun.
Nice and warm and toasty inside.
Yeah.
So here's a fun thing: the audience will be able to see you tomorrow morning on the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade. I said day twice. Ha! You'll be performing a number from the prom during the Broadway hour. That's before the parade itself gets down to Macy's on 34th Street. What is your Thanksgiving morning schedule like?
Well, that morning, I have to be at the Longacre at 6 in the morning. So there will be no Thanksgiving preparations. I'm not cooking, if that's what you're asking. We come here and get all ready in we're doing the finale, and we get all ready in our costumes, and then we head down on the bus, do a little rehearsal, and then we're scheduled. I'm not really sure what time we're scheduled to go on yet, but it's sometime between 9 and 9:30.
Beautiful.
And we're doing our finale, which is Build a Prom for everyone.
That's the finale number.
Build a Prom, yeah.
Yes. I can't wait to see it.
It's our motto. It's our anthem.
It's the anthem. Sweet. I can't wait to see it, and I know everybody else can't wait to see it either.
It's going to be a cold one.
I know. It's it brings me to my next question, because I think it's like historically it's supposed to be probably the coldest Thanksgiving in 100 years in New York City.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so why don't you share with the fans, how do you keep warm during a performance like this?
Well, I do want to share with the fans I will be wearing a dress. And by dress, it's kind of a shirt dress. It's kind of a short shirt dress, shimmy dress. But I think I'll be having some heat patches on me and some hand warmers, probably down my tights. And then just keep bundled until we have to do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be 20 degrees.
Yeah,
and
it's cold.
My arms are out. So, I don't know. I may look blue. My skin might look blue.
Well, we'll be sending warm vibes to you. And I'm sure you'll be on fire, so you're going to be plenty warm.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I don't know. Thanks, Jacob.
Well, you're very welcome. Now, other than the prom, of course, what are some of your other favorite Broadway shows and roles?
That I was in?
Yeah.
Or to watch?
Both.
The producers, obviously. Getting to play Ula with my good friend Jimmy Borstelman for so many years. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like before Angie, before this role, that was my favorite role. That was my favorite time of my Broadway career. Absolutely. Until now.
Well, and you were fantastic then, and I know you're fantastic now.
Thank you, Jacob.
Well, I know that you have...
hope everyone comes to see.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to definitely be plugging it. Now, I know that you have a busy schedule, and with the new show just opening, and you have a special holiday matinees and getting up at the crack of dawn to be at the Thanksgiving Day Parade. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and our audience. You are my first female guest that I've had on the Jacob Young Show. And I couldn't have picked anybody better than Angie Schworer. So congratulations on the prom. Happy Thanksgiving. And if you're in New York, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you don't miss the prom at the Longacre Theater, and tune in to see Angie on Thanksgiving morning on NBC. Thank you, Angie.
Love you.
Love you too.
Thanks, Jacob. Come see.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Angie Schworer, and a dear friend of mine, and a brilliant Broadway star, and so wonderful to be able to interview her, and so wonderful to be able to hear about her new show, The Prom, which has opened to great reviews. So, I think it's destined for greatness. You should definitely check it out when you get a chance. All right, so I want to go ahead and answer some questions at this moment. Anybody who has any questions, let's go ahead and take a few moments. Let this stuff load up here so we can see what you guys want to ask. Hey, Jacob. Hey, Michael. Michael Mortimer says, "What's up? Happy Thanksgiving." Karina, Kende. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm horrible. I'm gonna go back here for a second. So anyway, so I want to talk about a serious note real quick, and I always like to talk about things that matter to me during these shows, and I know that I think you've seen that from the earlier episodes. And normally I do it at the top of the show, but this one means a lot because when we're talking about Thanksgiving, we're talking about being thankful, and we're talking about thankful to be with the things that we love and be thankful for the people that we're with. And some of the people that I'm most thankful for are my fans and the people that are hanging out with me right now and the people who have allowed me to be able to be in this position, to be able to talk to you and be able to be received by you. So thank you so much. But I want to talk about something that's even more serious. A good friend of mine recently lost her son, and he was 26 years old, and he ended up leaving a son behind as well. And what's even harder is that they have the funds to be able to take care of their funeral expense, to be able to be with my family. And if you have a moment to at least take a look at this GoFundMe page and be able to participate, because it's only a few days until this young man has to be buried, and they're dealing with the stresses of this, and they were not prepared for this. And of course, his young baby is now going to be raised by his grandmother, my dear friends. And I want to go ahead and I want to put this up here. Please bear with me. It's not going to look pretty on here on the site here because I just want to put the site up. But I want you to be able to see this. And I'm going to put it on my deck right now so you can see I'm talking about the where you can donate to. And right now, I just want to say a happy, blessed, safe Thanksgiving to everyone out there. I love you so much. And keep tuned to the Jacob Young Show because we've got a lot more exciting things coming. God bless everybody. and have a great night.